Hi, this is Adam B. Yeah, it's been a while. Thanks. Missed you too. Alright, I'm perturbed. Okay, here's what I've done. I've got all those machines you've seen in the other videos. And I went out last week and I got myself, the family pack. It's just me, but I have a family of machines. Went on the G5, no problem. Leopard, 10.5. Went on the G5, no problem. It was great. Just went right on. Just smooth. My iBook, which you've never really seen in these videos, but you don't need to. It's a 1 gigahertz iBook with a gig of RAM and blah, blah, blah. Didn't have to do a thing. Just put the disc in. I backed the thing up. Yes, of course. I backed everything up. Backed everything up. Put the disc in, 45 minutes later, whatever it was, and that's my new sound. Because, I got a sore throat. 10.5 installed on this old iBook. No problem. 1 gigahertz. PowerPC G4. It worked. So this thing, my iTunes server, I've made some changes since the last movie. I've gone outboard with the actual iTunes drive. It's this newer tech box. Yeah, I got a 500 gigabyte drive in there, and it works pretty well. I did that in case the machine went completely south, and I had to move iTunes and everything in a hurry somewhere else. Also, I have a .Mac account. I'm using the .Mac account to back up the iTunes database files that reside on the boot drive. Still have a 120 gigabyte boot drive inside. There's also another 80 gigabyte boot drive inside. Here's the problem. I have a 10.4 install on the second drive. I booted this machine from the second drive, and I did a cleanup, and I did a backup of my primary boot partition, my standard iTunes server boot partition, to a disk image on the second drive. This way, if anything went wrong with the 10.5 install that I planned for this machine, I'd be able to recover everything. Now, I've done a bunch of 10.5 installs on a bunch of different machines, and I've seen other people do them as well, and I've heard about a hiccup here or there, and actually on my G5 it had a strange lockup first time through. But I manually rebooted it and everything was okay, so I really wasn't worried. This machine was born, to recap, so 400 megahertz G4. It's got, hard drives, it's got space, it's got everything it's supposed to need. This is now what happens post 10.5 install. I'm going to start it up. Now you don't hear anything because it uses the monitor's speakers, and they don't really kick in until the monitor comes on. Monitor's not sure what's going on. Green lights come on. Alright, green lights come on. There's the Apple. It's booting. And it goes dead. And the machine turns off. Little white light is off. I don't know what to do here. Apparently, since this machine in its original condition, its original state, falls under the guidelines for running 10.5, it's not going to run 10.5 now. Even though I have wrote it up and over, gig of RAM, gigahertz processor, I can't run 10.5 on it. I filed my taxes late this year, and I got back about $400. But don't worry, I filed an extension. And I was thinking, new laptop, or something. Now I'm thinking a mini. It'll go nice with that little white box. I also asked in the old video if anyone knew about any USB speakers, USB-powered speakers, because I was a little unhappy with the built-in speakers in this Hans G monitor. So I want you to know, nobody wrote, nobody called, nobody found a thing. Nobody made any suggestions whatsoever. But in my job, I go from place to place and meet with many, many tech people, and you never know what you're going to find sitting on their desks. I found at one location pair of these. They're USB-powered speakers that don't use a USB connection. They use a plain old 1/8 inch headphone jack connection. They've been in this box Today it's the first Sunday in November. They've been in this box since June because I bought them and kept intending to make a video. One thing got in the way of the other, and I'm getting over a month-long cold. So they've been sitting in the box in my bedroom here doing nothing. So should I get this server back up and running, I'll open this box and plug him in. Look for it. It might happen in another 12 to 15 months. Later. Bye. Oh, by the way, what I'm going to have to do with the server is I'm going to have to boot from the alternate drive, restore the image, and then hopefully do some research and find out if someone knows how to mess with the gestalt in this thing and let me pretend it's a later model that qualifies for the Leopard upgrade. And that's the news. Good night. And, oh God, The Simpsons are on. Later. Okay, the restore is done. I took the image that I saved and put it back on the hard drive, and I'm about to restart. And hopefully everything will be okay. I used the Carbon Copy Cloner to do the restore. Disk Utility was acting a little weird, so I went with Carbon Copy Cloner. And it acted a little weird. I didn't want to remount the hard drive at the end, but then I used Disk Utility to mount it, and mounted. Wow. It's technical and dull and boring. Back after the restart. Looks like it's booting normally. Program's opening. Alright, I'm going to try the speakers now. Now, here's the thing. I've seen some pretty expensive speakers on the internet that used USB connections to get their signal into the computer, from the computer rather, into the speakers. These don't do that. These, and I can say this unequivocally because I've seen them at someone else's desk, they work. I mean, you know, they're not terrible looking. They're little flat black things. They're no name. I got them at Walmart. $10, or rather $9.97 for the pair. And you know what? They feel chintzy for that, but let's see how they work. Now the thing is, USB was a requirement here because I did not want to have something AC powered. It's got USB, but it only gets the power there. It gets the audio through this headphone jack. So now I'm going to plug all this stuff in. I'll be in a minute. Where does it go? No. Okay, they're all plugged in now. And now I'm going to try and find something to play and see how the speakers sound. Okay, I've got the speakers hooked up. I haven't tried them yet. I'm going to try right now, live, for the first time, on camera, to see how well these speakers work.
Is that going to be?
Previously on part 1 of Upgrade Rollout.
Well, they work. I'm happy. This, of course, means the machine can come on in the morning, start playing radio, because I've got that little blue box I threw through the air last time. And I can leave the monitor off. See? I can do this.
Something's gone wrong.
And I can hear what's going on. I can hear what's going on, and the monitor's off, and I don't have the little light blinking at me all night long. Blinking, 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 blinking. You'll notice I'm not blinking, but my hand is doing the blinking. Alright, that's enough for now. I'm going to cut this thing down in like 6 minutes and see if anybody's interested in seeing it. Later. Bye.